everybody, and welcome to today's session. It's my pleasure really to introduce you to various authors who have contributed to our digital literacy themed COABE journal, and today is no exception. I'm really happy with our two guests. First of all, I'm Don Finn. I am the past president of COABE and also serve as the publications chair, with the COABE journal being one of the primary projects that I oversee. And it really is my pleasure to be engaged in this process to not only cast vision for the journal itself and the different themes of the journal, but also to look through the various pieces that are submitted and to have an opportunity to speak to many of the contributing authors. And today is no exception. I'm really happy to present the authors of one of the works in our digital literacy journal. It's entitled Increasing Technology Skills in Adult Students, One School's Journey into the Virtual World. And we are joined today by Jen Griffin and Pat Bazanos. And I'm going to give them an opportunity to introduce themselves. So Jen, if you'd like, could you please just give us a quick introduction of who you are and what your role is?
Greetings. So my name is Ms. Griffin. I am the proud assistant principal of Palm Middle School in Moreno Valley Unified School District. Prior to accepting this role, I worked as the lead teacher and admin designee for Moreno Valley Community Adult School. And part of my journey in that was just making sure I was supporting our students and our teachers as we made that transition from going to traditional learning into the virtual world. So I had a lot of problem solving that I had to do.
And Pat?
I'm Dr. Patricia Bazanos. I'm the principal of the Moreno Valley Community Adult School in Southern California. And I have, I should say, 100 years of experience in education, but I've worked in elementary, middle, high school, college, and I'm approaching the end of my career at adult school, and it is absolutely delightful in spite of COVID pandemic and changes in curriculum and instruction.
Thank you so much. It's great to meet both of you. And actually, that's a great segue, Pat, into the first question. What I appreciate about your piece here is that you really talk about the process that your school went through in adjusting to the COVID world in such a quick manner. And so with that, let me just kick off the questions with why did you write this article for the COABE Journal?
Well, I do a lot of reading for adult education agencies and belong to a consortium of local education agencies. And I saw the COABE call for articles, and it melded so closely with the COVID pandemic and the shutdown and how we had to pivot. And having spoken with other principals at other schools, I recognized that what we did was pretty significant, and I thought we should probably share that. And I have some very, very gifted teachers on staff, including Jennifer Griffin, who is Google certified, and she's a technology wizard. So I thought we need to share this.
Great, thank you. And let me ask you, Jen, how do you see adult education practitioners benefiting from reading your article, and in turn, how might that benefit their students?
So when I was writing the article and I was kind of maneuvering our new world, I was seeing trends, and there was huge deficits between the students. There was deficits with the use of technology and integration with the teachers. So just reading that article, we saw in talking to other agencies, there were problems that we all were facing. And this was our way to present, here's the problem, here's what we've seen, here's what we've done to address that. And if this works for you, fabulous. If it doesn't, if you know something that we're struggling with, kick it our way. We'd love to learn. We learn from everyone. So I think benefiting the other agencies who read this article, it's going to show you how we kind of had to think outside the box and creatively figure out how we would change the way we delivered instruction. We would reimagine what instruction looks like. For the students or the stakeholders who may read it, I'm hoping they're going to see that if they're struggling, if they're not able to get through, they're not alone in that. Not everyone is a technology wizard. So they need to know, like, perseverance and resilience, that's important, and it'll come with practice. So I hope they read that and see, okay, other people are struggling. We can look out and we can find some more people.
So, Pat, as an administrator over an adult education program, how would you incorporate the principles that you presented here in your article, particularly for your teachers, in how would you envision them to transfer those skills or address some of those issues directly for the benefit of their students?
Well, our school district's theme this year is exactly what Jen just said, to reimagine. And what we struggle with always is space and time. We don't have enough space in our classrooms to accommodate the need for the adult in the community who need to get an education. So every year we have waiting lists and we're running overflow classes and we can't accommodate it. When they shut us down because of the COVID pandemic, suddenly the instruction that we were using to supplement our teaching became the curriculum itself. And then it became an opportunity, because now we are not limited by space. Now, all of a sudden, we can have any number of students out there who can get a device. So, and then of course, we had that struggle with students and teachers who were not familiar with the technology. Jennifer was an excellent instructor for the teachers, and then the teachers became very creative and they went to their students, because many of their students were very creative as well. So then the students started to create platforms that other students could log into to learn how to use whatever device they have. If they had a BlackBerry, if they had an iPhone, if they had an iPad, if they had a tablet, they had a PC. So we put these methods of connection on our website. So now all of a sudden we have the connectivity. And then we started farming out these ideas to the other adult education agencies in the area.
Thank you for that. And let me ask you this. So you talk a little bit about the conditions before the pandemic and the different technology rollouts that were happening and the different applications and so on. And then you went through the process of talking about, okay, while we're in the pandemic. So as it seems that we're rising out of the pandemic a bit, at least at the time of this particular interview, would either of you like to speak a little bit more into how you might continue the integration, the effective integration of technology into the programs and the equipping of the instructors as well as the learners?
I'll answer that. I saw a need for, like Jen said, thinking out of the box. How will we continue this? Because at the time when this was happening and we were pivoting to this online instructional model, we didn't know how long it would last. So we invested some of our adult education funding in buying new line broadcast systems. And now in every single classroom, we have a huge monitor. It kind of replaces the smart boards. And it's like the teacher is sitting at the desktop, but they can carry the keyboard or a tablet device with them. As they move around the classroom, the camera follows them. And they can address the students who are now in the class, because now we're allowed to have socially distanced, like 15 students in each classroom when we opened up for this fall term. But we can have an infinite number of students logging into the classroom via Zoom. So the monitor becomes the whiteboard, it becomes the computer monitor, it becomes a demonstration, it becomes the Zoom connector. So in the classroom, you might have 15 students, but outside of the classroom, you could have 30, 40 students connecting. So we're working on that right now. We're training our teachers. We've opened up classrooms. We've been in session for about a week. Now, all of a sudden, we have lots of questions and we're going to do another training. So we learn as we go.
Great. So it sounds like a lot of great things are happening, and you really are dealing pretty well with this transition. And that I think that's excellent. And that as it's portrayed here in your article as well as you present that information, I do hope that it will be helpful to our readers. So let me ask you this in closing, Jen. Do you have any additional comments that you would like to share with the readers?
I'm going to echo what my mentor used to tell me when I worked at the adult school last year. She would tell me technology is here to stay. So there's really no need to resist it or to not do it. It's here now, right? And we've done that. And we had a huge opportunity in this whole pandemic to really identify areas where we were struggling and reimagine, like we were saying, how to make that better. So like anything, right? It may get worse, it may get hard before it gets easy, but you just got to push through, right? Eventually, you keep messing with Google, you keep messing with your technology, it'll become like muscle memory and you'll be fine. So if it's difficult at first, just keep going. Please don't give up. It will be better.
Pat, any final words?
Well, I would like to say thank you to our school district and our school board. Dr. Kids, you are our superintendent, who has given us free rein to do what we think we need to do. And also to our consortium and our consortium lead, Jody Slater, because they have been instrumental in helping us navigate through this new hybrid age and helping us to reimagine what the future will be. And thank you to COABE for the opportunity.
Well, thank you to both of you for taking time to share just a little bit about your work. And again, this particular article, Increasing Technology Skills in Adult Students, One School's Journey into the Virtual World, is available in our digital literacy themed COABE journal. Thanks to each of you. Thank you for the good work that you are doing. And thank you to our audience for tuning in. Take care.